Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make a pizza crust out of potatoes. I have been doing the potato cleanse for about 5-6 days. Today's my 6th day and I really wanted pizza last night, so I went online, found this YouTube channel called Living Veg, and she does a potato crust pizza where she uses potato flour. I couldn't find it, so I'm using potato starch instead. But basically it's just 4 potatoes that I have in here. They're peeled, chopped up into cubes about the same size so they boil evenly. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt in. I just like to salt the water a little. I think it makes them taste better. And I like things spicy, so I'm going to dust it with a little bit of red pepper flakes. So by doing that, I find that it makes it evenly spicy, so you don't get little chunks here and there. So when you mash the potatoes, it's kind of evenly distributed and already boiled into them a little bit. So I'm going to let these boil until they're tender, till you can kind of poke them with a fork and they're soft, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now they're done boiling and they're super soft, so you're just going to mash them with a fork. Okay, so once they're mashed, they're kind of crumbly a little bit. Now you're just going to add in the potato starch, which I just use Bob's Red Mill potato starch, because all it is potato starch. There's no other ingredients. So find what you can, but this is what I'm going to use. And I don't really have a measurement. I kind of just take it in my hands and sprinkle it over and mix it in. If I had to guess, you're going to use, at least a tablespoon. And you just kind of fold it in, mix it around. Sorry, the camera angle is crazy. I'm holding the camera with one hand. So just mix it in. Kind of keep mixing it in till it kind of looks like a dough. Just keep adding it. I don't think you can really mess it up, because you'll know when it starts to change consistency a little. You kind of just want it where you can mash it together and it doesn't crumble. That should be good. So I'm just going to mash this in, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so now see how it's not really crumbly anymore? It just kind of looks like a dough. So there's already red pepper flakes in it from boiling, but I'm going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning, maybe just a teaspoon, and mix that into so it kind of bakes into it when it's in the oven. Okay, so now it is ready to go on the cookie sheet. Okay guys, so whatever pan you have will be fine. You're just going to cover it with some parchment paper. And you don't need to grease it or anything. Parchment paper will make it so it won't stick. And then you're just going to pour the dough onto the parchment paper. Okay, so the important thing here is your hands need to be wet to squish the dough down, otherwise it will stick. And make sure that you wait for the dough to cool down enough to where you can handle it so it doesn't burn you. And then all you're going to do is just kind of squish it out. Try to make it thin, like maybe 1/4 of an inch. Otherwise, it's hard for it to get crispy. I've noticed in the middle where I didn't make it thin the first time I made it, it didn't crisp up like the edges did. Maybe that's just how it is. So it doesn't have to be perfect, and if you need to, just kind of keep getting your hands wet so that they don't stick. And just kind of keep pushing it down. I haven't used a rolling pin. 1, because I don't own one, and 2, I don't think you really need it. And then I kind of take the side of the parchment paper, squish it up against the edges, just to make them more refined, I guess. It doesn't really matter. I'm just a little bit neurotic. So, and then you're going to put it in the oven. I do it at about 450, but everybody's oven's different. If you have a convection oven, then it might be a little different than just a standard one. So if your hands are dry, they're gonna stick like that. It's okay, just kind of get them wet again. And just kind of work it out till it's thin. Try to make it as even as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be the end of the world or the end of your pizza crust if it's not. It just might not be as crispy, but still it will taste good. So once it's like this, then you're just gonna put it in the oven and bake it. And again, everybody's times are gonna be different, but I did mine at least 20 minutes the first time, about 20 minutes. And it'll start to get brown, and if it puffs up, just push it down with a spatula and just keep baking it until it looks brown and kind of crispy. And then take it out, and that's when you'll put all the toppings on it. Okay guys, so I just checked on it and it's like puffing up a little bit, so I'm just gonna kind of gently push it down with the spatula, and you can see it's kind of getting a little brown and crispy on the edges. So I'm gonna put it in for a little tiny bit longer. And while it was cooking in the oven, I actually chopped up all the veggies that I'm gonna put on there. Tomatoes, mushrooms, bell peppers, broccoli, purple onions, and spinach. So have those ready on hand, so when you take it out, you have everything right there ready to go. Okay, so now that it's done, it's gonna be browned and crispy. Now it's time to put all your veggies and the sauce, and I'm just gonna be using an organic spaghetti sauce from Trader Joe's. It's fat-free and it's vegan, and it even says vegan on the back. So that's what I'm going to be using. So you just kind of put it on top and just kind of move it around like you would normally if you've never made pizza at home before. Just kind of put the sauce on, and then you can use whatever veggies you want. Since I'm doing the potato cleanse, I'm going to be doing all non-starchy vegetables, but if you're not, feel free to put whatever you want on top. But I'm just going to keep it simple, so I'm going to do the spinach and tomatoes, mushrooms, bell peppers. I like a lot of veggies on my pizza, so. And if you've never before, I like to put broccoli sometimes. Which if you're not into that, obviously leave it off. And some purple onions. I call them purple. I think they're actually called red, but they look purple. So we're gonna go with purple onions. And that's it. And then you'll just put it back in the oven for about 5-10 minutes. Just keep an eye on the crust. If it starts to burn, obviously take it out. And that's it. All right, guys, here is the final product, all cut up and ready to eat. Looks amazing. Can you believe this was made out of potatoes? I was blown away when it came out the first time. So if you're into it, you like it, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up. If you make it, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Have a great day. And if you want someone else to enjoy it, share it with them. And let's spread this vegan message like wildfire.